Now that I have my first Ace repository cloned from GitHub to my computer, and I have also created the hello.txt file inside the repository on my computer. The next thing is to push it so that the original copy of the repository will be updated on GitHub. To do this, we follow 3 steps. The steps are: first, you add, then you commit, and finally, you push. Let's start with adding. To add, we use the command git space add space dot, then press enter. Since we are not getting any error, the next thing is to commit. The command for commit is this: git space commit space -m space open quotation mark, then write the message here. We call it a commit message. Its purpose is to describe exactly what you created or updated in the repository. Let me just write this here. Then close the quotation mark and press enter. We got an error. This error usually comes when you are using Git to commit in your terminal for the first time. Git is telling me that I should tell it who I am. So I need to provide the email of my GitHub account and also the username of my GitHub account. This process is called Git configuration. If you look closely, you will see that the error message has already provided the 2 commands we will use to configure Git. So let's type the commands one after the other. Let's start with the first one, which is for the email configuration. Type git space config space --global space user.email space open quotation mark, then type the email you used to open your GitHub account. After that, close quotation mark and press enter. Since we did not get any error, we can move to the second configuration, which is the username configuration. This is the command to use. Let's type it here. Type git space config space --global space user.name space open quotation mark, then go to your GitHub profile and copy your GitHub username. You can see it here. This is my GitHub username. Copy it, go back to the terminal and paste it by right-clicking your mouse. After that, close the quotation mark and press enter. Since we did not get any error, that means the configuration was successful. So we have completed both required configurations. Now, let's redo the commit process. You can see that it has committed successfully. So after adding and committing, the next thing to do is to push. To push, we use the command git space push, then press enter. Now, the push has completed successfully. If we go and check the repository on the GitHub, we should see the hello.txt file there. Let's go and check. After refreshing the page, you can see that the repository is no longer empty on the GitHub. We now have the hello.txt file there. If we open it, you can see the text that we wrote inside the file. Now, I have the hello.txt file both on my laptop and on the GitHub. Even if anything happens to my laptop today and I lose the hello.txt file, I can easily retrieve it from GitHub. Now, look at the commit message. You can see the message I wrote when committing in the terminal. You can see that it is the same thing shown here. And if you come here also, you can still see the same commit message. Commit messages are used to track history. As you create new files and update your repository on your laptop, anytime you want to push, you should write a commit message showing exactly what you changed during the period. So that if you come back after some weeks or even months and you want to see the history of how you worked on the project, you can track it through the commit messages. So you can see that in the terminal, we have only one item in the repository, which is the same thing we have on GitHub too. Now, let's practice more. Let's create another file called africa.txt. Let's write some text there. Let's save and quit. Checking the repository on the GitHub, you can see that africa.txt is not yet there. But in the terminal, we already have africa.txt. This is because I've not done git add, commit, and push. So let's do that. Don't forget, in the commit message, write meaningful information about the changes you made in your repository. It helps you track the history of your repository. Then we push. Now, refreshing the repository page on GitHub, you can see that we now have the two files there. Opening it, you can see all the text we wrote there with Vim. Also, you can see the commit message there. You can see that the commit message for africa.txt is different from the commit message for hello.txt. This helps us track the history of the repository. You can also see that we now have two commits. Click here and you will see them. This is one of the golden features of Git and GitHub.